I'm doing good, man. Stayed up late watching World Series Game 3. So yeah, I've been pounding the caffeine today. You know, it's been that was something else. But the Blues stink. Cardinals in the holding pattern. College football's bananas. That's about it from
Yeah,
where I sit.
I
Yeah.
would agree. I was just watching ESPN, and they spent a few minutes on the World Series and went back to NFL, 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 NFL. And they're like, oh, yeah, it was great. Okay, let's get back to football now.
Yeah.
But it was epic. I mean, that was an epic game. It had everything you could possibly want if you're a baseball fan. It had all the drama in the world. And let me start with the negative. Bernie, is what are they doing pitching to Shohei Ohtani, man? Enough
Oh man.
already. It reminded me of David Ortiz in 2013.
Yeah.
Like, enough. Stop throwing him pitches that he can hit.
I mean, the guy is ridiculous. Yeah, he's on base 9 times last night. I mean, 5 walks, 4 of which were intentional. To your point,
No
they
player's ever
finally,
done that.
Yep, they finally decided no. After that 7th inning home run that tied it, no more. I'm with you. I don't know why you would pitch to him, and maybe you don't walk him with the bases loaded. That happened to Barry Bonds a few times back in the day, but the guy is just he's preposterous. He is absolutely preposterous. There's never been a combination pitcher hitter like him who just takes over. He just utterly dominates over and over again.
And to your point, OptaStats put this out earlier today. Game 3 for Shohei Ohtani, 12 total bases, 9 times on base. So that's a hit, walk, hit by pitch. 4 extra base hits, 4 intentional walks. Since intentional walks became official in 1955, no other major league player has put up those numbers over a span of 2 games, let alone 1 regular season or postseason. Nobody's ever done it over the course of 2 games. He did it in 1 night.
And I got to say, he's always the top story when he's doing stuff like that. He dominates the proceedings, but obviously the key to that win from the Dodgers standpoint was their bullpen, which has been much maligned, and rightfully so. It was a lousy bullpen, but last night, man, 13 and a third innings of relief, 1 run, and that 1 run was charged to Blake Trinan. Other than that, the other 8 relievers that came out of the bullpen, including Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, 13 scoreless innings. I mean, and that was a really bad bullpen coming into the postseason. So that I think if you're Toronto, kind of shame on you that you do not score a run over the final 11 innings of that game. Come on. Against that bullpen, you got to get a couple. You got to get 2 or 3 markers on the board, man. You can't get shut out for 11 straight innings.
Yeah, no kidding. After Kirk hit that bomb and you got the lead and Scherzer's dealing, I mean, he looked good. The Dodgers find a way. Just a couple of other notables about that. Ohtani is the second player in World Series history with 4+ extra base hits in a game. The last one to do it, Frank Isbell for the 1906 Chicago White Sox. And Freddie Freeman is the first player in World Series history to have multiple walk-off home runs. He is the 4th in postseason history. Carlos Correa, David Ortiz, Bernie Williams.
Challenge for both of them. And, Shane Bieber's guessing. I understand when you're in a tie game, it's getting late. You're going to play for one run. I get it. I really do. You got to get that one go ahead run across the home plate. But if you look at the late innings, man, he used 4 pinch runners, and using the pinch runners, he took some of his, some good hitters out of the lineup, especially Alejandro Kirk. So they had to go through, all of those extra innings, 11 innings, extra innings, with several of their big bats out of the lineup. I mean, I think that's a second guess. And listen, managers exist so everybody can second guess them. But that was one thing that kind of blew up on John Schneider, who's done a great job this season.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with you on this, Bernie. He reminds me of Ollie in a way, in that, he is a lifer. I mean, he made his way through the organization. Ollie is, I think, somebody who pays attention to this show. I think if he was watching or listening to this right now from a distance, he would nod and say that he would agree with us. I think that Schneider is an admirable guy. I don't have much against. I actually like the way that he handles things. Sure. I like the way when he was interviewed in the middle of the game yesterday when Scherzer gave up the home run, he's like, yeah, Max looks good. I mean, Scherzer gives up the 2 solo homers. Schneider didn't panic whatsoever, and the team looked strong. But I'm with you on that. And Ranj, I think you would chime in and say you agree. I think the Blue Jays missed a huge opportunity yesterday. That was the one.
Yeah, you're on the road. You have the chance. You've got the lead. You have it late. You can't really give that up. And then when you have opportunities in extra innings, especially against that team, because we have seen them already do it during this postseason, that if they want to, they can really step on your throat and end it, which I kind of agree with Bernie. Like, I am desperately wanting this series to go 7 because these are 2 really good teams and I want to see as much of it as possible. But I have this feeling now that maybe we're looking at another couple of games, and that's that. So I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm wrong. But these are, there's going to be an interesting conversation that happens as soon as this World Series is over. Of course, we're going to be paying attention to the offseason. We're going to be dialed into what the Cardinals do or don't do. But we're also going to be looking ahead to what happens at the end of next season. And we saw Jeff Passan write about this last week, and I think it was in the middle of the NLCS with the Dodgers and the Brewers, talking about the Dodgers winning another World Series and how owners might use this as a pretext to really push for that salary cap. Well, it's not just the Dodgers. Now you've got another team that's a top 5 payroll team that is in the World Series right now. So I kind of get the sense that fight is going to start pretty quickly, even though it's been going on for ages already. I think it's going to get dialed up quite a bit here. And maybe it starts as soon as this offseason. Even when we've got all the other transactions and everything else going on, I think this is a discussion that happens probably during this offseason all the way through next season as well. And a lot of it this World Series will be a pretext for much of that.
I get it. I agree with what you're saying. It's going to dominate the discussion between now and whenever the owners actually lock out the players, which is inevitable. It probably, next December or so.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, me, I kind of like to push back on stuff, and this is me pushing back on the owners, not you, Ranj.
Sure.
We saw this before. I don't understand why everybody acts like this is just a unique thing in baseball. The New York Yankees of Joe Torre, who dominated the landscape for how many years in a row? How many World Series did they win in the late 80s or late 90s, early aughts? They had the highest payroll every year during that time, and they just did whatever they wanted as far as adding players. And they just rolled over everybody. In fact, those Yankee teams under Joe Torre and all those great Hall of Famers, they actually had more dominant than success than the Dodgers. It didn't last. I mean, even though they're a really great team, they haven't won a World Series since 2009. It didn't last. Baseball is really interesting because the perception of this is that, the Dodgers are ruining baseball and everything else. But actually, Major League Baseball is more balanced than the other major sports in terms of who wins championships and also who gets into the playoffs. The numbers are actually really remarkable. but hardly anybody ever talks about that. So anyway.
Bernie, you're spot on with that. If the Dodgers, okay, look, even if the Dodgers win, 9 of the last 12 World Series winners are different. 9 different winners over 12 years. If Toronto wins, it's 10 over 12 years. Those are pretty good numbers. You only got 2 repeat champ, or not even repeat champions. Well, I guess if the Dodgers win, it'd be a repeat, but the Dodgers would have won a couple of different World Series, and the Astros would have won different World Series. But you're still talking about the vast majority of teams that are World Series winners over the last 12 seasons have been different winners. There are all kinds of teams and cities that are getting to taste the baseball championship.
Since the start of the 2015 season, 28 major league teams have been in the playoffs, and 15 of the 30 teams have played in the World Series. Yeah. And yet the sky's always falling. Baseball, as we know it, is ruined.
Yeah, and
really,
and that includes a bunch of teams that aren't even trying.
Yeah, like for example, and they say, well, we need a salary cap like the NFL. Okay, that's kind of interesting, because in the last 9 Super Bowls, only 8 teams have been in the 9 Super Bowls. Of the 18 potential slots over the last 9 seasons coming into this year, only 8 teams have made it: the Chiefs, Eagles, Patriots, 49ers, Buccaneers, Rams, Falcons, and Bengals. Right. But yet the owners say, oh, we need that NFL type salary cap. Well, where's the balance in the NFL? How come the list of teams that make the Super Bowl nearly 10 years later, why is that such a small list of teams? If it's supposed to be the panacea, then you would expect to have seen maybe 12, 14 teams in the Super Bowl. It's only 8. So a lot of this stuff, frankly, is just a bunch of phooey. It really is.
And I do not hear Cardinals fans using that excuse. I don't hear them pounding the table for a salary cap. I don't hear Cardinals fans saying that
that's
the Cardinals
a great point.
Are poor. Cardinals fans are saying,
spend more money. That's what they say.
We have come out every year. We put $3 million plus through the turnstiles. We spend millions of dollars on this team. They want change. So I think what Cardinals fans are saying, don't spend $300 million on your payroll. Cardinals fans are saying, hey, ownership, put this team back into a position where it used to be, where they have a thriving developmental system, a thriving minor league system, and then you throw down and you spend where you need it, and you take this team to the next level with star power, et cetera. It got all backwards on them. They tried to patch up things with money, and it didn't work. So getting themselves back. I think what Cardinals fans are starting to panic about a little bit is, if you ask the average sports fan, who's the best team in the National League in history, they're saying, oh, Dodgers. Dodgers have 8 world championships and the Cardinals have 11. But here in 2 more games, and it's going to be 9. And they're going to start chasing down that record in the National League, and Cardinals fans don't like that at all. So it's time to get this thing back together, Bernie, like pronto.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And the interesting thing, I'm going to try to tie this to Game 3 again. I'm aware of the Dodgers payroll, and when you have the luxury tax penalties put in, it'll be over $400 million for this year. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. You'd like to see, maybe I don't know, not such a disparity at the top of the payroll scale. But the Dodgers, as far as I'm concerned, they're doing what's right for their fans. They're putting the best possible team on the field that they can, and they have the money to do it, especially with all the sponsorships and marketing deals with Japan. But think about last night's game. Okay, I know Tommy Edman had a costly error earlier in the game. The stuff that won that game last night until Freddie Freeman hit the home run, you had 9 Dodgers relievers, and they were maligned all year. The hero of the relief corps was that dude, Will Klein. He looks like a guy you'd see on some A&E show, reality show from like Pennsylvania Dutch country. That Will Klein, he's looked like, well, we're going to have a barn raising on Sunday. You're all invited, right? Four innings pitched, 15 batters. He only allowed 1 hit. He's a nobody. He's making them a minimum. See, he's just a guy. And a lot of their relievers were just guys. And then they saved the game because Tommy Edman makes 2 great relay throws. Well, one was just a straight up throw, but the other one was a relay throw to get the runner at home plate. They made how many great defensive plays? That has nothing to do with payroll. they played great fundamental baseball. That's got nothing to do with payroll. So I just think that's an easy crutch for so many, for the owners, and it's an easy crutch to grab for even some fans that complain about this. And I agree with you guys. I don't think the Cardinals fans are in that group, but the Dodgers also play really good baseball.
They do. And they draft well and develop well. It's not all about payroll.
Yep.
That's right.
The question Lauren wanted to know, Bernie, what time did game 3 end? That answer would be 1:50 a.m. Central Time, 11:50 out on the West Coast.
I was up for all of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
very nice. We have a break to take, but when we come back, much more discussion of this, and we'll get into a little bit of hockey, football, everything else in between on the Gashouse Gang. It's what we do. It is live from Studio B at KMOX Radio, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. In fact, Bernie's report is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. Back after this.
This is Kyle Bush with Cringe Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. How many times have you changed jobs over the years? If you're like many professionals, you may have left behind one or more 401ks. Unwatched, unmanaged, and potentially your largest retirement asset. Just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it should be out of mind. Let's make sure it's working as hard for your future as you are. Your goals, our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group, broker-dealer.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Dave, congratulations on your 25th anniversary from BioBalance Health, Dr. Sullivan, and me personally. You have single-handedly helped us reach hundreds of new patients, both men and women, over the past 15 years. Since 2010, BioBalance has been treating men and women over the age of 40 with testosterone pellets and preventative medicine. BioBalance Health was the first medical hormone pellet practice in St. Louis. Now we are the most successful. Dave has not only been our partner at BioBalance Health, but also our patient and great friend.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
KMOX is everywhere. 1120 AM. Streaming live on the Odyssey app. And now at 1041 FM.
Back on the Gashouse Gang with Bernie Miklasz and Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. We continue the baseball discussion. We'll get into some college football a little bit later. A lot to get into there. And not to mention the NFL and what the heck's wrong with the St. Louis Blues. Here's Mitchell says the real issue is all the deferred payments that make these big spenders able to spend more. And I agree with that. That is a big part of it, Bernie. I do. I think that Ohtani, there's a big reason why the Dodgers can do what they do. He deferred 68 of his $70 million salary. That is something I think that does need to be addressed.
Maybe so. Yeah, I agree that that's an issue, but if a player is willing to do that, who's to tell the player and the team it's wrong to do that?
No, right.
Players got to be willing to make the sacrifice.
It's within the rules. I mean,
it's interesting you bring this up. I talked about it on the Chris and Amy show. Sportico put out some numbers on salaries for this year, and they said that Shohei Ohtani's made $102 million this year, $2 million in salary, $100 in endorsements. There is no other player in baseball that's making more than $10 million per year in endorsements. He made $100 million in 2025.
Wow.
So, I mean, he deferred that money, but I think everybody knew, there's going to be a deferral until it's 2034, correct? That's when the 68 mil per kicks in. It's either 2034 or 2036, something like that. And $2 million per season all the way through that. Well, yeah. Of course, but he's making considerable money in endorsements.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
And the Dodgers are making massive amount of money. And as I mentioned, those marketing and sponsorship deals in Japan.
Yeah. If you look at I totally get that. If you look at the Cardinals payroll right now, Sonny Gray, if he's off the books right now, it looks like in the neighborhood of 25 to 35. I'm not sure exactly what that number is. Arenado, that's a big number. I think it's the adjusted payroll according to SpotRack is 21 million. And Michaelis is 17.6. That's a ton of money, man. That's that's a lot of money there. That's 64 almost $1 million potentially off the books right there. So the Cardinals are going to have some room to do a little spending here in the next few years to build themselves back.
But again, I would not expect it.
Sure.
A lot of that this off season. And I know we're going to get a lot of comments on that. And Aaron, who is watching the show. Yeah. I mean, they're going to want that to happen. I don't even want them to do that now. This is not the right time for that.
Yeah. I don't get it. We need to have like an all day seminar. Maybe KMOX can carry. We can explain what the word rebuild means. Can we do that?
Yeah. Yes.
And then you got bloggers out there. There's Max Scherzer would be a great fit for the Cardinals. Okay, well, first of all, anytime Max Scherzer wants to pitch for the Cardinals, that's wonderful. I don't care what the circumstances are. The Giants aren't bringing Justin Verlander back, and Max Scherzer's arguably his best friend in the world, Tony Vitello, is taking over as the manager of the Giants, and they need a starting pitcher. And I think Tony Vitello would love to have a guy that can explain to the Giants veterans what this manager is all about. You'll love him. Why in the world would Max Scherzer want to pitch for the Cardinals when he has a chance to pitch for Tony Vitello and the Giants? I mean, we need to put our thinking caps on and then keep them on with stuff like this.
Yeah, no, it gets ridiculous sometimes, the lack of overview of the entire baseball picture. This is no longer the place to go. There's a project underway here. It's called a rebuild. And we'll have, we'll have a seminar. We'll take all of your registration. It's free, by the way. You can register for free. We'll do the whole thing. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive back into this subject, but also we'll expand into college football. There's a lot. Somebody's chirping you here on YouTube, Bernie, about your love of Eli Drinkowitz. So we'll get into that. Get ready for that.
Yeah, it's a little weird because all I said in a video was that he was being pursued by other teams.
That's right, and
I never said that he was like a great coach.
Yes.
So what am I getting ripped for stating the obvious? Now you can criticize other teams for thinking he's a great coach and pursuing him, but what the hell do I have to do with that?
We will ask that very question when we come back. Right now, I want to tell you about Genesis Vehicles at St. Charles, Genesis of St. Charles. It's a great dealership. It's the place to buy a new car. This is the last week for this offer. 0% APR for up to 60 months. Go to genesisofstcharles.com. See dealer for details. Genesis of St. Charles. The Genesis vehicles are so nice. They are, not only do they look good, they drive like a dream. And when you add it all up, the chance to have all of the complimentary valet and the service and the fantastic place to go get your vehicle serviced, all the things they do for you, delivery back and forth, everything scheduled online. It's just nice to have that concierge service, Genesis of St. Charles. So when you buy a vehicle, you're not just buying the vehicle, you're buying that entire experience to go along with the vehicle when you think of it that way. And the Genesis vehicles are super nice. Test drove them recently and just love them. Go to genesisofstcharles.com to learn more and stop into 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway. It's right off I-70. You've probably seen it a million times, right off of Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. It's genesisofstcharles.com.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here for the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life, not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Cloudy and 55 in St. Louis. The high will be 57. Might get a little more rain this afternoon. The weather brought to you by the Pauley Agency. In a world of cookie-cutter health plans, the Pauley Agency is proud to represent coverage that's tailor-made to fit your needs. The Pauley Agency puts the sure in insurance. For a free quote, call 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Taking care of your health should be simple. And with the NeoVitan monthly subscription, it finally is. Choose your doctor-formulated multivitamin and we'll deliver it straight to your door every month. No more running out, no more remembering to reorder, just consistent nutrition made easy. Plus, subscribers save 10% every month and can pause or cancel at any time. Visit neovitan.com and start your subscription today. NeoVitan, trusted nutrition every day.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here, and I just wanted to let you know that FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams in all your favorite sports. And with FanDuel, there are just so many ways for you to get in on the action. And you can check it out at FanDuel.com/Missouri, where you can download the app. You can bet on everything from the money line to over-unders to which team's going to win it all on a futures bet. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player is going to score the next touchdown or which player is going to hit the next home run and the one after that and the one after that and so on. And I've been with FanDuel since the very beginning. I've been using the FanDuel Sportsbook app for years when I've been in states that allow me to play, and it's a blast. It's super easy, just as easy to get your money out as it is to put your money in, by the way. So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to download the app. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and older, present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thank you, Missouri, for making Genesis of St. Charles your #1 and most trusted Genesis dealer for 2025. Thrilling offers for an unforgettable season are now here at Genesis of St. Charles. For a limited time only, get 0% APR for up to 60 months on all new Genesis models. You don't want to miss this one. These offers absolutely end October 31st. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024 on approved credit for Genesis Finance. See dealer for details.
Hey Dave, it's Tamara, the flavor temptress, and your good friend from Clementine's Ice Cream. I just wanted to say congratulations on 25 years. Not only are you the sexiest man in daytime radio, but you're probably the only man with the best looking feet. Here's to the next 25. Cheers to you, my friend.
104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Welcome back to the Gashouse Gang with Bernie Miklasz and Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman. News just coming in from the Blues during the break. They have placed Jake Neighbors on injured reserve, a right leg injury, and Doug Armstrong announcing that Neighbors is scheduled to be reevaluated in 5 weeks. That is not good. Neighbors has been terrific. 6 goals, double anyone else on the team at this point, leading scorer on the team, Bernie. And the Blues, that really hasn't been their problem necessarily, although they haven't been the best scoring team out there. They can't keep the puck out of the net. I mean, they get lit up again last night in Pittsburgh.
Well, yeah, they've been a really bad 5-on-5 team. And to your point about Neighbors, he leads the Blues with 5 goals at 5-on-5. Nobody else is close. If you look at, before I get to the goaltending, if you look at some of their prominent forwards, and we're talking about 5-on-5 hockey, which is the foundation of hockey. Jordan Kyrou, 1 goal. Shen, 1 goal. Holloway, 1 goal. Robert Thomas does not have a 5-on-5 goal. Buchnevich does not have a 5-on-5 goal. So those are 5 of your very best forwards making a lot of money, and they have 3 5-on-5 goals between them. I did a column or a video about this last week on STL Sports Central. The problem is the Blues goaltending has been horrific. I don't even think it gets enough attention. As we sit here today, the Blues are last 32nd at 5-on-5 save percentage, and they are last on 5-on-5 high danger shot save percentage. They've actually had enough volume of shots and quality of shots to where they should be scoring about 52, 53, 54% of the goals of 5-on-5, but they're not, because some of their top scorers can't put the puck in the net, and their goaltending can't stop it. And when your goaltending is that horrific and when it's that awful, how exactly are you supposed to win, like, consistently? How are you supposed to put a winning streak together? It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, and on the flip side, last year, Jordan Bennington got off to a red-hot start, and I think hid a lot of the problems that the Blues were having scoring. He was bailing them out of games. Remember how much he was getting peppered, and defensively too, how porous they were defensively. So that is a big, you're right on the money. That's a big thing here. They can't keep the puck out of the net, and it is hurting them severely.
Robert Thomas, come on, let's go, man.
I know, man.
Let's go.
I mean, you're supposed to be the star. The foundation of this team is Thomas and Kyrou. It's why they gave them the money that they gave them, the contract that they gave them.
You mentioned him. Is he out for tonight, or is he in?
I don't know, actually.
Because he was.
I'm gonna look.
He was part of that injury report yesterday.
Yes, he was,
along with Neighbors. So I don't know. If,
Thomas was out yesterday, but we'll take a look and see if that's changed. But again, if you're just tuning in, Jake Neighbors, IR, and that is now 5 weeks until he is reevaluated. So it's been brutal, really. I mean, they're not even close to being a team that can make a push here. They're in last place in the Central Division. The Blues play the Red Wings tonight, the team that they were up 4-0 on Saturday and lost the game 6-4. They lost last night to the Penguins 6-3. They gave up 2 goals in about a minute. And before you could get your popcorn, it was 2-0. Then they came back, tied the game, and they lost the game 6-3. Meanwhile, let's go back to Eli Drinkwitz for a minute. So they did one of the people who, and I'll let you kind of go off on this, Bernie, but one of the people who was commenting said that people are ripping you for your glorification of Drinkwitz. I haven't heard that. Has never beaten a top 10 team in the regular season, no playoffs. No other team wants him. I could pick that apart all day. First of all, he was number 9 in the nation in 23, torpedoed Tennessee at Faurot Field when they were ranked 13. So I guess that doesn't count because they're not top 10. And some of the other teams that he handled pretty easily. In 2024, excellent team last year, did it again, made a run, captured another double-digit win season, on and on it goes. They've lost 2 tight games, Bernie, and there are teams that actually do want Drinkwitz. I think this is going to get really interesting here. Florida, LSU's job is open. Those are 2 pretty big ones, not to mention Penn State.
According to betonline.ag, Drinkwitz is now the favorite for the Florida job. I mean, because the expectation is that Kiffin might be more likely to go to LSU. And, if you look at the LSU job, Drinkwitz is in the top 5 or 6 coaches most likely to get that job. At Penn State, he's down on the list a little bit. But people who covered the team also say Penn State's interested in him because one thing James Franklin did not do well was work the transfer portal. And Drinkwitz, statistically, factually, I know facts don't matter. I get that. In America, facts no longer matter. But he has been one of the very best coaches, factually speaking, in terms of work in the transfer portal. And Penn State looks at him and thinks that's a guy who can really fix a major problem. Listen, I'm always fascinated by people that don't pay attention. On many occasions, I've noted that the one thing missing from Drinkwitz, everything he's done has been really, really good, except not a good record against top 10 teams, not a good record against ranked teams. But there's a couple different ways to look at this. So what are we going to? So in other words, what I would like to ask the loons is this: so what? So what? So he hasn't done well against ranked teams. So yeah, you know what? Fire him. Let's get rid of the bum. I mean, do people have listen? I know again where we are in America. Collectively, is there some kind of brain fry where people have erased 2015 through, the first couple years Drinkwitz was trying to get the program revived, so no one remembers how awful they were all those years. So the last 3 years, let me repeat it again for the slow people that don't listen very well. He has a terrible record against top 10 teams, and he's got a disappointing record against ranked teams. Okay, right? But he's also overall got, since the start of 23, they've got the 8th highest winning percentage in college football, in power conference football. Does that count for anything? We're supposed to flush that down the toilet? I just don't understand this extreme mentality. So it's not enough that he's revived the program. He's filling up the stadium. He's a great recruiter. He's worked the NIL. He's worked the transfer portal. He's got all this momentum going. But that doesn't matter because all that matters is he doesn't have a good record against ranked teams. Therefore, what? He's a bum? Well, he should be dismissed? What? Are people capable of balancing things in their mind? Well, this is the good. This is the very good. This is the bad. This is really disappointing. Can we try to do that and have a fair accounting of his time in Columbia? Or is it all just pick on the negative and also tell lies about it? So I don't get it. I'm not sure what these people would have done. So you want to fire him and what? Bring in who?
Well, fortunately,
go get Dan Mullen. What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, Bernie, don't you think that I don't think most people live in that space where this guy who's writing in on YouTube is living. I just don't think most Mizzou fans believe the same thing he believes. I think there's an understanding of what Missouri's inherent program limitations are, and it takes a very long time to get past that, to become a team that perennially has a better record against top 10 teams. And right now, to me, that's not what the expectation of them right now should be, that they're always beating the teams in the top 10. It should be that they are starting to be competitive against them. And if you give it a little bit of time, they can continue to build that program into something it really hasn't been in a very, very long time, if ever. So I don't know what you would, if you do move on from him, if people are seriously thinking, I got to move on from Drinkwitz, go find something better. I don't know that you do find something better. And it might be years before you find anything comparable to what's happening right now.
And in fairness, I agree with you. I was just running my mouth. In fairness, I don't know how many, unless we're talking about the extreme element out there on the lunatic fringe, because those people always exist, but they're not a large percentage of people. But I see no reason to apologize for thinking Drinkwitz has done a really good job at Mizzou, because the last 3 years has backed that up, but he does have a hole in his resume. But I'm just not sure what the problem is when a guy has clearly elevated the program. Clearly. Why in the heck do we think teams like LSU or Florida, or to a lesser extent Penn State, well, why do they want him? Why is he on their list? Why is Bruce Feldman and Seth Emerson and Pat Forty and all the national writers all putting him on the hot list of jobs for the what? So they're idiots, or what? They're gutless because they think Eli, and they're neutral. They don't have a skin in the game. They think Eli Drinkwitz has done a really good job at Mizzou. That makes you crazy to think that?
I mean, I've been saying for a while that he reminds me of Steve Spurrier, and it was none other than Spurrier who said, I like Drinkwitz, and I would have him as our next coach, a strong candidate. He said it there at Florida. Look, Florida hasn't been good. Arkansas, Auburn, LSU now has taken a backseat, and all the while, Missouri has been consistently a very, very good team under Eli Drinkwitz. So what you want is consistency. You do not want to fall backwards. Look, LSU poached his defensive coordinator. All he's done is put this thing right back into being one of the better defensive teams in the SEC. The problem is they've not had great quarterback play. Now, I will say this. I saw a glimmer of hope in Matt Zollers. I think it's too much to put on a freshman that he can just go out there and beat Texas A&M. That team looks ferocious. But the opportunity is there for Missouri's defense to play another strong game, to keep that game close and see if they can run with Hardy and pass with Zollers and pull the shocker. Because if you do that, if you beat A&M, you're right back in the conversation. Because narrowly losing to Alabama, and the Vanderbilt one was frustrating, but narrowly losing to Alabama, that thing moves just an inch or two this way, and they don't make a mistake or two. And that's a win, and the whole conversation is different about Drinkwitz. That's the margin of error in the SEC is so slim.
And let me say this, and I said it Saturday or Sunday with Matt Pauley on Sports on Sunday Morning. I wasn't happy at all with Drinkwitz after the loss at Tennessee, the loss down in Tennessee to Vanderbilt. I wasn't happy at all with him coming out and basically pointing a finger at the officiating, right? So, they should have won the game. The offensive play calling was terrible. You have a 1st and goal at the 2, and you can't come up with one play to get in the end zone. I mean, seriously, is that climbing Mount Everest? I thought the play calling in they got away from the run in the Alabama game prematurely. They ran the same play over and over again instead of taking advantage of the fact that a team like Auburn's trying to stuff Ahmad Hardy, which opens it up for some other things. Bo Perbula, I get it, did not have the arm strength for a downfield passing attack, but I haven't been pleased with the play selection on offense, and I'm not really was displeased with Drinkwitz complaining about officiating. That's not why they lost the game.
No, it isn't. And they're going to have to regroup here. They do get the bye week, and now Texas A&M on November 8th with a chance to change the narrative again, but they're running out of time. They have to run the table to have a shot here with 2 losses in the SEC, because unfortunately for them, Notre Dame, I think, is going to end up with 2 losses. And you know what the committee likes to do with a big brand like Notre Dame. They want to put them right in there. We'll take a quick break, but Bernie, before we do that, tell us about Saliga Heating and Cooling.
You know, I'd be honored to, because
Wonderful.
I'm proud to represent Saliga Heating and Cooling here on KMOX, because number one is their record, their track record, their history. They've been around since 1927, 4 generations of Saligas, Dan being the 4th owner operator now. Continuously been serving generations of St. Louis family since 1927. I love that. You got to be pretty great to still be going strong nearly 100 years later, right? And the Miklas family, for about 17 years, we've been calling Saliga Heating and Cooling to take care of our heating and air needs. Also some other things in the house, like they can improve your indoor air quality, for example. So we've relied on them because, number one, their honesty is impeccable. They never try to hustle us, talk us into something, twist our arms, take advantage of us. Not at all. They do the opposite. They always look for the cheapest, least expensive solutions first. And they also have a priority club. It's a maintenance plan that's going to save you money, because they come out a couple times a year and check your equipment, make sure it's working great. If they catch a little problem, they fix it. Then it's nothing. It's a minor problem. And then you're not going to have, you don't have to worry about these unexpected emergencies, these surprises. So we have saved a lot of money through the Priority Club at Saliga Heating and Cooling. But you'll find them to be professional as could be. Their knowledge is outstanding. They're reliable. Listen, the highest marks from us. And I think we have the credibility to talk about it because we've been calling Saliga for 17 years. If you want to find out more, just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
The DGS Halloween show is back, and you can hear it first on Friday, October 31st, starting at 4 p.m. Hear all about their ghost hunting experience and all the thrills and chills the show experienced this year. And to check out the ghost adventures from the past 20 years, head to KMOX.com/Halloween. The DGS Halloween show, presented by Lore Wine and Spirits. Try Ghost Tequila today, the perfect spicy spirit to bring your Halloween celebrations to the next level.
Glover here from my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
House stealing. It's a nightmare that's real. It's the FBI's term for thieves stealing your home's title and draining your equity. Just one fake document filed with a recorder, and scammers can own your home on paper, drain your equity, and do it all without you even knowing. Imagine waking up to a foreclosure or eviction notice. Listen to former title thief Matt Cox.
What people don't realize is the ease in which this crime can happen. I can take the deed to your house and I can transfer that deed into my name. It's a great crime, and it's happening all the time.
So how can you stop the nightmare and protect yourself? Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO and get a 30-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Don't wait. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now, promo code RADIO.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are discussing breast cancer with Dr. Debbie Bennett.
It makes a big difference who's actually interpreting the mammogram images that you get. We make sure that we have an expert team of breast radiologists that specialize in reading mammograms to be sure that we can get you the most accurate read possible.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling on 104.1 FM KMOX.
0-1 delivery. Here she comes. Swinging a high drive into left. Back goes to Craig. He's at the track. He has it. And the Cardinals are world champion for 2011. They came from nowhere to astound the baseball world. They win this one 6-2, and they're world champions for 2011.
Every year, October 27th and 28th, it's a lot of fun to go back and listen to Mike Shannon and John Rooney make those calls on KMOX. Makes you miss Mike for sure. And it makes you miss those glory days of the Cardinals winning the World Championship. 2013, they went back and lost to the Red Sox in 6 games and have not been back since. With Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. Our visit is with Bernie, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin dealer. Just one little homework assignment there during the show was Robert Thomas. The Blues didn't skate today, so I don't think we're going to know Thomas's status until Montgomery talks at 6:00. It was an upper body for him that kept him out of the Pittsburgh game yesterday. But again, Jake Neighbors on IR with lower body, a leg injury, and they're going to reevaluate him in 5 weeks. Bernie, what do you expect tonight from the Dodgers Blue Jays? I know we got into that. Ohtani against Bieber. That should be a lot of fun as we get into one more. I don't know if we'll have a marathon, but we literally had a doubleheader yesterday, 18 innings of baseball.
And I have no original thoughts here. I'm saying what everybody is. Listen, don't know how long Ohtani can go after that marathon last night. And he had cramping in that game. Bieber, the Toronto starter, has not been going deep into starts. He's relatively early coming back from his Tommy John downtime. I think it'll come down to the bullpens again. It'll come down to what manager can squeeze more out of the bullpens. It'll also come down to what starting pitchers will jump into this game in a relief role. And I wonder if the pressure is getting to Toronto, especially if they're not going to have George Springer. That's a big, big deal.
And I'll tell you who's watching this all very closely, Chaim Bloom. He is just days away from starting to make some moves for the 2026 roster. First, though, staff, front office, give me some changes around.
Better make a trade during the game tonight or I'll be pissed.
The fans want action. I don't know how much they're going to get, but they're going to get something. It's coming. Thanks to Bernie. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Matt. Thanks to Frank. I'm Tom. Gashouse Gang continues tomorrow on KMOX.